What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Nina, and it's okay to desire an even skin tone across your body, even if it's not perfect, especially in areas like our knees and our elbows. And we ain't talking about bleaching, kiddies. We talking about natural brightening. Now, I've been there. You know, you go to pull out that nice dress you've been wanting to wear that gives you a little bit of knee action, or you come home after work and you want to put on your favorite shorts, and then you look down and boom, you got two big, dry, dusty, and thirsty ash buckets. Your knees. Having dry and thirsty knees and elbows, it ain't fun at all. If you've ever noticed, the skin around your elbows and knees is usually thicker than the skin around it. Those areas have more folds due to their joints, and also those areas don't produce as much natural body oil. And there could be other issues such as underlying illness in which you really need to see your doctor. But today your girl got you, because I'm going to show you several remedies from simple to more advanced that can make sure that they help to moisturize, treat, and help those elbows and knees get right back on track. I'm even going to make an oil and a butter that I'm going to give to one loyal subscriber to try out in order to get your feedback for my future skincare line. The remedies that I show you today will not hold all the keys to the miracle juice. If it took time for them to darken, then it's going to take time for them to lighten them up. So you have to be patient, you have to give everything a try and see what works best for you. So stay tuned for all the fun and let's get into this. And remember, all the items that I'm using today can be found down below in the information section. And y'all, don't forget to thumbs up this video if you like it, comment, share, and subscribe. And also click on those notification bells so you can know when I upload on Thursdays and Sundays. Make sure you also check out my Now That's Life podcast, which is now live, and you can check it out on all your major podcasting platforms. Links to my podcast can be found down below in the information section. Before we get started, I want to make sure I say I always patch test my skin, and this is just basically taking the items that you're wanting to try, testing it on your skin before placing it on your whole body. You want to make sure it's not going to irritate you or give you any problems in terms of ingredients. Also, never use everything at once. I'm going to give y'all a bunch of treatments, mainly because some of us have certain things at home and others of us do not. So some of the products that I'm showing you all today are just out of convenience, while others are things that you can probably consider later on in the future after you see what works best for your skin. Usually the skin takes about 6 weeks to show some differences, so you also want to give it time, but you definitely don't need to be trying all of these things at one time. So first, y'all, we're going to explore basic treatments. And one of the biggest things I've done for my skin, and I talk about this all the time, is exfoliating. I try to exfoliate at least 2 to 3 times a week. Depending on your skin's needs, you want to make sure that you don't overdo it. Overdoing exfoliation can be just as bad as not exfoliating. But what it does is it helps to uncover that new fresh skin underneath, allowing your hydrators or any of your moisturizers or lotions to sink in a lot better so that you can have that glowing, healthy skin. So I'm going to show y'all 3 of my favorite ways to exfoliate now. One of my favorites is the sea salt and sugar scrub. And basically all you're using is sea salt, sugar, either brown or white sugar, and a bit of coconut oil. I don't really even think about the amounts on this one. I'm going to place all the ingredients down below, but I usually don't even think about the amounts because it's based on the consistency that you like. And if my skin is a little more sensitive at that time, I'm going to do more coconut oil, and if it's less sensitive, then I might back up on the coconut oil so that it's a little bit more rougher in its texture. But I literally mix all the ingredients together thoroughly, come up with my texture, and I use that. I keep it in my bathroom for my hands, for my feet, for my elbows, and for my knees. And what I find is the sea salt really helps to release the dirt and absorbs the dirt on the skin. It also creates a barrier so that you're able to have more moisture stay in the skin. That's why people love sea salt, because it also helps to prevent wrinkles. So it helps to get rid of those dry, dead looking skin folds. So it could really help your knees and your elbows with that. Literally all I do is take this across the knees and the elbows and make sure that I get down in there really good, really taking my time with it. And you don't want to overdo it because this one is a little bit more abrasive in its texture. So you want to take your time doing it. You can do it in the shower. You can do it outside of the shower. Just make sure that you take all the remnants off. But at the end, I feel like my skin is glowing. It looks good. It looks supple. It looks moisturized, and it feels much more healthy as well. well. The next one is getting a good coffee scrub, and if you want to, adding in a cold cream. I just got hip to this game. I used to only do my scrubs by themselves, but especially with the coffee scrub, putting in a little cold cream, I promise y'all, it's like butter. Cold creams are really going to help to moisturize the area. The coffee and the coffee grinds are really going to help to exfoliate the area completely. The mix together helps to remove a lot of the dirt off the top layer of the skin, but it also helps to keep in the moisture. And it also puts moisture back in. You want to watch the ingredients in your coffee scrubs. I use a few pre-made coffee scrubs, but you can also make it yourself from just taking dried coffee grinds as well as coconut oil. But I've been using one that I have bought off of Amazon, and I've been quite happy with it because it's quick, and it also says that it helps a lot with stretch marks, and I've found that it really helps a lot with lightening any kind of dark areas on my legs, or if I get a bug bite or things like that. So I really do love the coffee scrub. And with this one, if you can stand it, rub it gently or massage it gently into the knees and the elbows for 5 to 10 minutes if you have the time. Now, I'm not saying I do that. I try to do it as long as I possibly can, but I exfoliate so often that I don't have to do it that long. But if you're finding that you have darkness, you might want to try exfoliating just a little bit longer but softer. Definitely not harder. I rinse it off with plain water, and with the coffee scrub, like I've said, I usually only use that one once a week because that's a little stronger in texture and also ingredient. And I love the way my skin looks in the end. It's glowing, it's soft, it feels amazing. And the last of the exfoliators I use is more of a mechanical exfoliator, the Spin for Perfect Skin. Y'all know I love this brush, and you all, it's funny because some of you all still ask me the brush that I'm using in all my videos. It's the Vanity Spin for Perfect Skin. The reason why I love this brush is because it has a million different heads to it, making it easier to use it across my body. So from everything from the larger brush to a smaller brush that can be used on your face, or even the Pumice Stone. So it has different options. It cleanses and exfoliates that top layer of skin to reveal that even healthier glowing skin as well. It gets rid of dirt and oil and rough dry skin patches, which is perfect for the knees and the elbows, so that it makes it more easy for it to accept hydration and moisturizers. I even use this thing to dry brush my body for fighting cellulite and stretch marks, and y'all have seen it in a million of my videos. So use my code and my link down below and get 70% off the brush today. Whenever I see super deep darkening, I move to more advanced treatments. Y'all know I love some Besan or chickpea flour. I talk about it in so many different videos. But I love my Besan and yogurt mix. Yogurt contains both lactic and acetic acid, which help to nourish and moisturize the skin. And it especially helps to brighten darkened areas of the skin as well. Besan or chickpea flour is really excellent as a light exfoliator. It also nourishes the skin, and it helps to get rid of that top layer of skin so that you're able to moisturize a little bit better. And it helps to brighten the skin a bit. You want to make sure that you mix enough yogurt with the Besan in order to make a nice thick paste. And you want to make sure you mix that until it's mixed down really smoothly. This makes it easier to apply for you. You want to apply it evenly to the elbows and knees and allow it to dry. When I remove it, I like to rub my body in circular motions instead of just rubbing it off. If you want, you can kind of take a light and gentle towel and kind of rub it across there slowly in a circular motion. I don't like to rush with this because it is a lighter exfoliator. Whenever I do see extra darkening, I like to do this one every other day or when I can remember it. And I tend to keep it in the refrigerator for about a week before I replace it or do it again. I don't like to keep this one super long or longer than I would keep open yogurt in my refrigerator. The last of these treatments is vinegar and yogurt, and I'm not talking apple cider vinegar, which I use most all the time in a diluted form, but I'm talking about white distilled vinegar that is diluted as well and mixing it with the yogurt. White distilled vinegar does not get enough props, I don't think. I think apple cider vinegar gets all the hype, but white distilled vinegar really helps as an antimicrobial as well. It helps to clear up skin infections, and it could definitely be good for getting rid of burns and things of that sort and treating the skin, but I definitely dilute it with water. So I like to mix a little yogurt, vinegar, and the water and mix it all together until it's an even paste. And then I paint it right on or smear it right onto my knees knees and elbows. I allow it to sit for 15 to 20 minutes. Now remember that vinegar is acidic, so it can burn if you do not dilute it. And I use this as much as I need to until I see results, especially when I start to see those knees really darken or when I'm starting to prepare to wear my legs out. I love this one. So now y'all, we at the meat and potatoes, or should I say the oils and butters. Now I get super hyped when it comes to oils and butters because you know this is something I love to do. I love to mix it up in the kitchen. My friends even ask me to make batches of oils and butters for them because they love them so much. And y'all know that I have been working and masterminding my idea of a skincare line that is inclusive and really helps people with different skin issues. So while I'm doing that, I would love to show you guys one of my favorite oils that I like to whip up that's super simple, but it also helps with a lot of different issues. Now the purpose of oils is they really do help to nourish the skin and also lock in moisture. They create these moisture barriers, and so the more and more you use them after you moisturize, you find that your skin has a better elasticity and it holds in the moisture from those moisturizers, those lotions, those creamy and smooth, rich textured things that you use, so that your skin gets more nourishment from it. Also, this helps to deposit nutrients across your skin, and it's no different from this oil that I'm going to show you guys. And remember to look down in the information section to find out how to win one of these oils to try out and provide me feedback on today. So in this specific oil, which I call silky and smooth, we have a lot of great ingredients that are going to definitely help to put back moisture to the skin. And also these oils have natural brightening effects. So I have the lemon essential oil, the vitamin E oil, jojoba oil, extra virgin olive oil, and almond oil. The great thing about these oils all together is they have a lot of high nutrients and vitamins. The vitamin E actually helps to really input a lot of nutrients into the skin, and it helps to heal the skin. And I love the coconut oil as well for natural brightening effects. So with those ashy elbows and knees, you're going to see a lot more smoothness, and you probably over time will see a lot more benefits as well if you stick with it. So depending on your skin type and texture, this one could be awesome. Basically what I do is I mix the ingredients together. I make sure that I mix them in well, just shaking the bottle really well and making sure they're all distributed evenly. And then I take my time and massage them deep into my skin. If you have time with oils, don't just skip over this process. You want to make sure you give your skin time to accept the nutrients, especially after moisturizing the skin. It's just like taking care of your hair, right? We like to make sure that we lock in moisture with oil after we've used a liquid. This is the same process. So this oil is really going to help to lock in that moisture. And if you massage it in, it's going to help to increase the moisture benefits as well. So you're going to be really massaging, taking your time with your body and making sure that you've gotten that really in there really good. I like to do this in the daytime or after I've gotten right out of the shower and moisturized, and then after following with the oil. And then I like to do it at nighttime as well so that my body can take in the nutrients overnight. Y'all, the next one is amazing. One of my amazing body butters. And you hear me say one of my amazing body butters. I love making butters. I love doing research on the different butters, figuring out what they work best for and how. Butters are amazing because they really do help to lock in moisture, keep it there, and also uphold the nourishment of the skin across your day. I have made butters that have won, and I have made butters that have failed, but nonetheless, here's one of my winning butters. I call this one the sexy body butter. The great thing about this butter is it contains shea butter and cocoa butter. These butters specifically help to protect the skin from thickening and hardening. These butters in particular really have a nice source of vitamin E, so they're going to really help with putting that nourishment back into the skin, keeping the skin moisturized and smoothing it out. So specifically for those hardened elbows and knees. So with this butter, I have lavender oil, vitamin E oil, jojoba oil, extra virgin olive oil, almond oil, coconut oil, cocoa butter, and shea butter. Now, while I love to put on butters during the day, especially in cold weather where your skin can be chapped and dry, I really love putting on butters before bed, mainly because they help to smooth out the texture of the skin. And you know your skin rejuvenates overnight. So I love using this when I am going to bed. I find that I wake up and my skin feels so much softer, and it doesn't give me too much of an oily feeling or overly oily feeling. So I literally put this on the skin, rub it in really, really well so that I can soak up all the benefits, and I take my time with it as well, massaging it just like I would with an oil. So this is just another option. I love butters, especially when the air is cooler or has an underlying coolness to it, because our skin gets so chapped and dry, and that's specifically happening when we have a lot of those cottons and wools going over our body, especially the areas like the dry and dusty elbows and knees. So before we leave, I have some quick remedies for y'all. The first one is to use an exfoliating brush or a loofah in the shower. I've showed you all the benefits of exfoliating, but the reason why I say this is because it's such an easy way to get in some exfoliation. Loofahs are great, especially when they're the ones that kind of have several little layers to it. I like those, but I also like to keep them clean so that they don't deposit dirt back into my skin. So keep them clean by throwing them in the washer. That's what I do. I throw them in the washer with clear water and allow them to kind of rinse out really, really well, and make sure that I hang them to dry in the shower as well. But those are excellent ways to do quick exfoliation. I also apply moisturizers right after getting out of the shower so that I avoid dryness and any friction. A lot of times our skin is dry and chapped, so when it's catching on to clothes that have wool and cotton, it's causing even more problems for the skin. Now remember that pure aloe vera can be your best friend. Straight from the plant, it provides so much moisture, and I love the moisture and used to underestimate the power of aloe vera. Aloe vera really can help to heal you from a lot of sunburn or any friction and things like that, and put that nourishment right back into the skin. It also helps with maintaining an even skin tone and putting back nourishment back into that skin, and also keeps you away from a lot of those evil sun rays. So you want to be really good about using your aloe vera, especially when you notice that your skin is dry and chapped. Another quick remedy is using a pumice stone for specifically dry and rough areas of the skin. I'm not talking about rubbing it like you crazy. No, we're rubbing it just lightly, because the pumice stone is a great exfoliator as well. And while I use it for my foot, I've also used it for my knees and elbows. You want to use sunscreen regularly because those areas tend to get a lot more darkened by the sun. Now here's an old grandma remedy that I really love because it really works. That's why I love older people that know a lot. I like to cut the tops off of the socks or the toes out, and then pull that sock all the way up over my knees. Now I take a lot of Vaseline and put it over the area first, and then put that sock over it. What you find is that when you sleep, it helps to nourish that skin and soften it a little bit. Try it out. You might not believe me, but try it out. I've even tried that with shea butter before, just putting it on that area, like my elbows or my knees, pulling that sock up over it after I put in the shea butter or the Vaseline, and allowing that to settle in overnight. Y'all, it's like a renewal treatment. And even if it's super hard, it's not going to solve all your issues, but you may start to feel that it's softening up. Don't scrub super hard or excessively, because it can cause your skin to thicken and darken. You want to drink plenty of water because it helps to detoxify the body overall. You want to limit your intake of processed foods as well, because that can wreak havoc on your skin, period. You want to keep your knees and elbows covered as much as possible, because it prevents them from being exposed to overly cool air or being dry rubbed or chapped. Don't lean too much on your knees or elbows, because it can cause darkening of the skin. Now I know that one's a hard one to remember or even think about, but just limit the amount of time you're spending leaning in on your knees or your elbows. And last but certainly not least, if none of this works, you want to make sure you go to the doctor and seek other dermatological treatments. A lot of times they can prescribe different drugs or different lotions or different ointments that can help with the thickening or darkening of those areas of the skin. So y'all, I want to thank you so much for watching today's video. Do not feel ashamed if you have dark knees and elbows. Just remember, it's something you can continue to work on. And honestly, if you don't want to work on it, don't. Plain and simple. But make sure that you comment, share this video with someone who can use it, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Beautiful brown baby doll. Peace. Special thanks to Jason Bowie of Trinity Media Solutions for co-producing and filming today's video. His information can be found down below in the information section. Thanks so much for all the love and support over on my new website. If you haven't already, go ahead and check it out and join me for new ways to interact with me, giveaways and prizes, weekly emails, as well as my free 8-day supernatural video course, which is free when you sign up.